The saga surrounding Russia's figure skating team at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing stands as one of the most protracted and controversial doping cases in modern Olympic history, ultimately leading to the Russian Olympic Committee (ROC) being stripped of its gold medal in the team event and demoted to bronze. What began as a triumphant performance by a dominant Russian squad evolved into a global scandal centered on teenage phenom Kamila Valieva, whose positive test for a banned substance unraveled the results nearly 2 years later. At the heart of the matter was the figure skating team competition, a relatively new Olympic format that combines scores from men's singles, women's singles, pairs, and ice dancing. The ROC team entered Beijing as heavy favorites, boasting an array of elite athletes who had already demonstrated supremacy on the international stage. The roster included standout performers such as Mark Kondratyuk, Andrei Mozilev, and Mikhail Kaliata in men's singles, Kamila Valieva, Anna Shcherbakova, and Alexandra Trusova in women's singles. Pairs teams featuring Anastasia Mishina with Alexander Galyamov, Evgenia Tarasova with Vladimir Morozov, and Alexandra Boykova with Dmitry Kozlovsky. And ice dancers Victoria Sinitsina with Nikita Katsalapov, Alexandra Stepanova with Ivan Bukin, and Diana Davis with Gleb Smolkin. The competition unfolded in early February 2022, with the ROC accumulating the highest total score of 74 points after strong showings across all disciplines. Valieva, then just 15 years old, played a pivotal role by becoming the first woman ever to land a quadruple jump in Olympic competition, helping secure the apparent gold. Team USA finished second with 65 points for silver, while Japan took third with 63 points. Canada placed fourth. Normally this would have led to a swift medal ceremony, but the IOC announced a delay due to an emerging legal issue. That issue stemmed from a sample Valieva had provided at the Russian National Championships in December 2021. The test, processed belatedly due to laboratory backlogs exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, revealed traces of trimetazidine, a prescription medication used to treat angina and improve blood flow, but classified as a banned performance-enhancing substance since 2014 because it can enhance endurance and oxygen utilization in athletes. The revelation exploded into international headlines during the Games, as Valieva had just competed in both the team and individual events. Valieva's defense team quickly argued that the positive result was due to contamination. They claimed the substance belonged to her grandfather, who used heart medication, and that it had inadvertently entered her system, possibly through shared kitchen surfaces, crushed pill residues on a chopping board, or even a strawberry dessert he prepared. This explanation aimed to portray the violation as unintentional and without fault on her part. Because she was a minor, under 16 at the time of the test, she qualified as a protected person under anti-doping rules, which influenced initial decisions. The Court of Arbitration for Sport (CAS) convened an emergency hearing during the Olympics to determine whether Valieva could continue competing in the individual women's event. In a controversial ruling, the CAS permitted her to skate, citing her protected status, the potential harm to her career if excluded, and the fact that the positive test predated the Games. However, to avoid prejudicing any final outcome, the IOC decided there would be no medal ceremony for the team event until the full case was resolved. This left the ROC's apparent victory in limbo, with no athletes receiving medals on the podium. The investigation dragged on for nearly 2 years, involving appeals from the World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA), the International Skating Union (ISU), and Russian authorities. In January 2024, the CAS issued its final verdict. Valieva was found guilty of an anti-doping rule violation. Her explanations were deemed insufficiently substantiated, with too many inconsistencies and unanswered questions about the contamination claims. The court disqualified all her results from December 25, 2021 onward, including her performances at the 2022 Olympics, the European Championships, where she had won gold, and the Russian Nationals. As a direct consequence, the ROC team's score in the Olympic team event was recalculated without Valieva's contributions. This demotion dropped them from gold to bronze. The United States team was elevated to gold, Japan to silver, and, after further appeals, the bronze remained with the ROC rather than shifting to Canada, as a Canadian challenge arguing for reallocation based on individual disqualifications was dismissed by the CAS in August 2024. Valieva herself faced severe individual sanctions, a 4-year ban retroactive to December 2021, ending in December 2025, plus fines totaling nearly $20,000 to the ISU and WADA. She was barred from competing internationally during this period and could not qualify for the 2026 Winter Olympics due to the timing. Her return to competition came in early 2026 at a domestic Russian event, where she placed 6th, signaling an attempt to rebuild her career amid ongoing scrutiny. The broader fallout extended beyond medals. It reignited debates about Russia's history of doping issues, including the state-sponsored scandal at the 2014 Sochi Olympics that had already led to widespread bans. The 2022 case highlighted systemic concerns in figure skating, such as pressure on young athletes, the use of performance enhancers in a sport demanding extreme physical output, and delays in testing results that can alter Olympic legacies years later. For Team USA, the retroactive gold represented long-awaited justice and recognition for their performance, with medal ceremonies held symbolically during the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics.